What's up, guys? Specstar here today with my first two battle of the second pool stage of the TTM March Madness tournament. And my commentary in this video is going to be a little bit quicker because I recorded a more full, complete one, and at the end, once I finished everything, I realized that OBS had screwed up the recording and it's gone. So here I am, right after I finished recording it, doing it again, and I don't really have the patience to do the full thing again, so this will be a little bit sped up, but hopefully you guys still enjoy it. Anyway, the way this works, escape the first pool stage. There's now, I believe, 120 people left from 320, and I could be wrong about that, I got no damn clue. But anyway, now it's a pools of 4, and only one will advance, plus 8 wildcard spots, which go to people who have the best differential over Stage 1 and Stage 2. And I've got 2 battles here today. My first one's going against Gwydion Z. I believe I nailed that. And he's got a team consisting of Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Mega Aggron, Amoonguss, Salamence, and Alakazam. I've got a Medicham, which is speedy, with 4 attacks, one of them being Bullet Punch, the rest being High Jump Kick and Coverage. Landorus rocking Groundinium Z with Stealth Rock. Weavile banded Zeraora Specs because he had no immunity to Electric. Suicune running Substitute Calm Mind. Roserade being modest with HP investment and spikes. So I'm going to lead off with Zeraora and just click my Volt Switch on this Amoonguss. I'm going to switch in a Roserade, which should be able to take anything and set up spikes, except he winds up being Specs, so I'm going to be forced into my Landorus. Landorus going to get a clutch attack drop and then still take too much from the Sledge Bomb. He goes into a Tapu Fini as I set up my rocks. Now I'm going to go into Roserade again, expecting him to just defog. He instead is going to click Ice Beam, which should be fine unless he's speedy with no special attack investment, but he is, so Suicune will come in here. It's going to sub up. He's going to taunt me, and I'm just going to throw off some Scalds here. He goes for Moonblast, not breaking my sub. Scald here, I try to fish for a burn, not getting it. And again, I'm going to try and fish for a burn here, as he waits until this turn to reveal Defog, which I would have assumed he would have just clicked right away. My taunt's going to wear off here, and I'm going to go for a Calm Mind. He taunts me. Now I'm going to predict him to be forced out here and go into my Weavile, assuming Amoonguss would come in. He does go into Amoonguss, and obviously he's a special attacking set. He does have HP investment, but no defense, so he's going to get forced out here. I imagine it would be either into Arcanine or Aggron. If he does go into Arcanine, I can go into Suicune right away, so there's not really an urgency to predict that. If he goes into Aggron, it gets up rocks, which do hinder me, so I'm going to make the play predicting Aggron and go for Low Kick. He decides that Amoonguss is his Weavile counter and clicks Energy Ball. I'm going to have to go into my Landorus here just to kind of eat the damage it has to take, but now he decides to go into Aggron as I decide to go for my Groundinium Z here. He's going to go for an Ice Punch and pick me off. I'm going to go into my Zeraora and click Volt Switch, which will take the thing out. That just puts the most pressure on. Bring in Mega Medicham. I am going to be forced out of my Suicune here. I still want to preserve my Medicham. He's going to drop my SPA, which not the biggest deal ever. I'm going to Calm Mind up as he taunts, and again, I got no reads on this guy. I don't know what the heck he's doing, so I'm just going to click Scald. I'm still trying to feel him out and try to make some rhyme or reason. He does go into Amoonguss here. What I'm trying to do is put Amoonguss in range of my Weavile's Pursuit, which will open things up a little bit more for Zeraora. And I'm going to get him pretty damn close. This is a roll in my favor for Pursuit to take him out if he switches out. He does switch out, but I'm going to low roll the Pursuit. He brings in Fini here, and I'm going to have to sack off my Medicham here because, well, I believe there's a chance it survived. I could be wrong about that. I think there's a chance it took Moonblast, A, and B, Weavile was about equally important, even at low of health to preserve compared to Medicham. So here comes in Zeraora, and I'm going to lock in a Thunderbolt. It will to a KO and a Amoonguss, and it hits everything else pretty damn hard. The Amoonguss is going to go down here. He brings in his Ments, and I'm going to go into Weavile, which covers a Z move or a Dragon Dance. He shows that a Z move was Devastating Drake. I'm pretty sure that Zeraora would have actually taken that because it's Misty Terrain, so I'm not sure why he sent Ments out there, but he did. And Zeraora will come back in and click Thunderbolt. At this point, I'll take that crit. It's not gonna be a W for me anyway. I'll get a Thunderbolt off on the Zam, and another one will pick it off. And he'll bring in Arcanine to wrap things up with his Scarf Flare Blitz. So, as you guys can tell, I'm sure this was a frustrating game for me. But you know what? If his plays are frustrating me, then they're working out. So, GG to him. Unfortunately, we're going to start off 0-1, subtract 2, meaning pretty damn much we got to win our last 2 games. And the first one here will be against the coach of the San Diego Padreigons, Burn/not Burn. I'm going to bite my tongue, but I'm not a big fan of the not meme things people do. It reminds me too much of when I was on those chat rooms as like a 10-year-old and everyone was doing those, but you know what, to each their own. Anyway, here I am. I've got a Medicham, which is bulky, 252 HP, no, 248 HP, which is semantics, 8 speed, and then 252 attack. Rocking dual priority, Drain Punch, and Ice Punch. I think it's the first time this whole tour I haven't had to run High Jump Kick, and I do not like relying on that move. And if you've been following my channel, you know there are very particular reasons why. Next up, I've got Landorus, which is Scarfed, Zeraora, which is Banded, Suicune, which is Sub, Protect, Scald, and Ice Beam, Roserade, physically defensive with Spikes, Synthesis, Hidden Power Fire, and Giga Drain, Steelix, which is specially defensive with Rocks, Gyro Ball, Earthquake, and Curse. Curse is there pretty much just to make sure if I come in on Scizor and it's Swords Dance Roost, I can 1v1 it. Oh, I forgot to recap his team, right? He's got a Latios, regular Scizor, Tapu Koko, Mega Aerodactyl, Seismitoad, and Hariyama. So I am going to lead off with my Landorus, just a conservative lead with the Scarf Landorus. He's going to lead off with Koko. I'm going to assume that thing's forced out and just click my U-turn here. He goes into Aerodactyl, wanting to be aggressive and make some big dick pressure putting moves right off the bat. I'm going to bring in Zeraora on this thing, and then I'm going to predict the thing to switch out and click my Banded knockoff. He does switch out and he goes into a Seismitoad. I'll knock off that thing's Rindo Berry and then go into my Roserade. He goes for knockoff. This is basically just my cue to start setting up spikes. He goes into Aerodactyl. That's going to force me into my Steelix. As he Mega Evolves and goes for Wing Attack. Not doing much. I don't know if the thing is taunt or not, but I'm going to click Stealth Rock anyway. He would have to risk a Gyro Ball to go for a taunt. He brings in Hariyama, but my Medicham's bulky and it resists close combat. Plus it restores pretty much any health it could take away from me with an attack by clicking Drain Punch. He does not have a Drain Punch switch-in on his team. It's either Latios or Koko, neither of which take an adamant Drain Punch. He goes into Seismitoad, which after my beautiful, beautiful hazards is going to drop to this Drain Punch, and Medicham is back up to full, getting its first KO of the game. He brings in his Aerodactyl, but it is in range of Bullet Punch, so Medicham will then get its second KO of the game. Koko's going to come in, and I'm going to go into Steelix, which is basically my designated answer to this. He gets off some nice chip with Nature's Madness, and I'm just going to click my Gyro Ball pretty safely. Do some decent damage to Hariyama, and then give it its Key Berry. But I go into Mega Medicham here, which is a pretty good in on this thing. With Hariyama's massive HP, I'll get brought all the way back with my Drain Punch, getting Medicham its third KO of the game. He brings in Latios, but I know the Latios isn't Z-move, and with it not being Z-move, it has to be Specs, and it has to be Draco Meteor to take out my bulky Medicham. So I'm just going to Ice Punch this thing, knowing that I take, most likely I take anything it throws off. He goes for Sub, and now I know that the thing can't take me out, and Medicham wins us 1v1. So I click Ice Punch again. He goes in a Scizor, but it is going to get put in range of Drain Punch, so Medicham is going to take a BP, get a little bit back, and then claim its 4th KO of the game, having a pretty impressive showing here. He's going to bring in Coco, and I'm going to go into my Steelix here. Since he burns off his Z-move, I'm now safe to go into Zeraora, which can most safely win the game because it will outspeed both of his Pokemon and click Plasma Fist twice and take them both out. So, fortunately, we're going to rebound strong after that last game and move on to, what are we collectively? We're 5-1 plus 19, right? 5-1 plus 19. So, the reason these two battles are together in a video without the third and final one, which will be its own video, is because that's for all the marbles. Basically, I'm almost guaranteed a wildcard spot, plus I have a decent chance at advancing on pools by pool standing if I win that last game. And if I lose it, I'm probably out, so all the marbles are on the line there. So that'll be an interesting one. I thought interesting enough to be its own video without the company of another. Right now, my KO count, or my stats in total, because I got other things on there too. Zeraora has moved into the team leader with 9 KOs and 1 death. Medicham has moved up to number 2 with 8 KOs and 4 deaths. Suicune has fallen to number 3 with 7 KOs and 1 death, but still up my boy Suicune. Roserade is in 4th with 4 KOs and 2 deaths, and then everything else has 2 KOs. Funny enough, Steelix, which was 4 points, is tied with Weavile for fewest brings. They both come to 4 games. It was not something I expected when I did the draft, but I'd say Steelix has been a pretty damn solid contributor, so rock and roll, you big steel dildo. Rock and roll. And that's going to be it for this video. Take 2. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a good night.